But a country without education is a dead country. Because that is the future of any country.
That's right.
Because when you want to talk about development in any country, infrastructure, be it infrastructure, human development, and what have you, you have to come from education angle.
It's World Teachers Day, and we celebrate the strength, resilience, and hard work of them. But unfortunately, our teachers have become present a pitiable sight of years of neglect and abandonment. That typically is the sorry state of teachers in Nigeria. While they labor for the most active period of their lives to build the nation's youth in both characters and learning, the system and society neglect them through poor pay and attention. As Nigeria joins the rest of the world to celebrate the World Teachers Day, we shall examine the plight of Nigerian teachers and what can be done to make the teaching profession more attractive. I'm Beatrice Okimale. Let's get this conversation started. And today, we will be talking about the teachers, the little valued builders of nation. And I have with me here an entrepreneur and a political analyst, Mr. Adeolu Adeyemo. It's good to have you here, sir.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Okay, as you know, this is Teachers Day week. So how can you paint Nigeria's teachers as a whole?
A world without teacher is a world without development.
Exactly.
When there is no teacher, there can never be any growth. Teachers in Nigeria, well, they are doing their best. We thank God for them. But I strongly feel more can be given to them. They are doing what they know how to do at the level at which they are supposed to. But I know if the right tools, the right policies are in place for teachers, I strongly feel they can do better. It's in Nigeria that you see that globally, wherever we enter as a teacher from this country, we are not bad. Nigerians are highly recommended. Our products are highly recommended. When you have the best mathematics across the world, all over the world, the best tech in the world, the best artists in the world, you have best of the best from this country. It's not telling you anything than to tell you that the teachers that are teaching them, they are doing well.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So Nigerians are doing very well, but I strongly feel the reason why we have not really seen much of them from nursery, primary education to secondary to higher institution is because there is still no much resources from government, policies from government to help enhance what they know how to do best. And like I always say, teaching is a calling. If you are not called to teach, you can never teach. But I also see that in this country, some people are teachers, but they are not called to be a teacher. But when you want to be a teacher, you must have the passion to make the pupil, the student, to understand what you are teaching. You get what I'm saying? So, for that perspective, Nigeria and the teachers in Nigeria, they are not bad, but they need more. What I have seen so far is policies and human development capacity to help upgrade their knowledge. Before, I know that we used to have them go through different training capacity, but now I'm not sure that thing is still on. Because when you see whilst we have good graduates and secondary school students, WAEC or guys, okay, look at the last WAEC, look at the last JAM. Issues everywhere, issues, mass failure, mass WAEC failure, mass JAM failure, a lot of malpractices. I don't understand why this like that now. But I still see that why we have a lot of that. We also have some numbers of people that are also doing very well to bring this country to global limelight.
Okay, just like you talk about the mass failure of those students, should we not blame it on the teachers?
I just told you now, if we are going to praise the teacher for good representative outside the country, we should also blame them for mass failure. Notwithstanding, students also have a role to play on their own, because we have seen situations where a teacher will do his best, but students are not picking up. Which is bringing me to this particular issue that could be the reason for the mass failure. Because I'm wondering what could be the reason. Situation where a teacher, one of the policy problems that I've been talking about is when you have one teacher taking 5 courses of subjects, there's no way, see, mass failure is inevitable. But when you have one teacher taking one particular subject of their passion, you will see that they will do well. And that is why I said, UNESCO said, we have a deficit of 1.730 million teachers. Meaning, instead of, what we have now is 32,000 teachers. I say, how is that possible? 972,000 teachers is what we have. So we have a deficit. Instead of 3.759 million, we have 975,000. That means we have a gap of teachers. We do not have enough teachers again. People prefer to travel out now to go and teach outside the country than staying back in Nigeria, because the remuneration, which is part of the government policy, is not helping them.
Okay, so has teachers in Nigeria been abandoned, or will you say neglected? Nigeria.
Well, for this new minister, I'm seeing some few impact from him on the policies, trying to change a lot of things to see how we can make this educational sector a better place. But it does not mean that it's done well so far. It's just that he's trying to change the policies, which I believe if after doing that, that can make teaching in Nigeria a better place. He's trying his best. It's from the kind of policies he's rolling out, because for now, UNESCO said 1 teacher to 20 students. But now in Nigeria, we have 1 teacher to 45 students, which is wrong.
Yes.
That means we are not meeting the global standard. So we're supposed to play according to the global standard, because 1 teacher to 45 students, I don't know what those 45 people will pick. It's only in private schools that you see where you have 1 teacher to 20 students or less. But in the public schools, you don't see that. And that is why we're having issues of, okay, how many parents want to send their children to public school now? Because the learning environment, 1, the teaching capacity, the equipment to teaching, 3, they are not there. But if you go to private school, you see that all these things I've just mentioned now, they are there. Go from primary to secondary to university, you will see them there. But in public school, those are for private schools. In public school, you will not see. Our professors are calling for a lot of grants for research. That is still teaching. Who is sponsoring them? Except in private schools. Private schools are the ones putting money into research. When you see Covenant students come out and other public school students come out, they are not the same thing.
I think I beg to differ. Some federal universities are doing well.
The day Unilorin came out of public school, Unilorin became one of the best in the world. Now, the day, who is that one that is also out of public school? I think it's just Unilorin. Every other person is still playing to the gallery with the Nigerian Public University, but Unilorin does not go on strike.
No, they're not joined them.
They joined strike now.
Yes, since 2021. They
are back on strike. No, I'm not sure of that, because as at last 2 weeks, when I'm reading about them, they kind of, it's almost privately owned now. You understand? Privately driven, because of the way and manner they go about their thing. They don't follow all these ASU, they don't. Because if you send your child to Unilorin, I'm not promoting Unilorin here. I'm just telling you, one of the public school. You know, what I'm trying to say is this: public schools policies, if federal government can help to rework it, then we will see a better public school. If not, then we'll continue to see a level. Okay, how much are they paying all these lecturers in university now, in primary school, in secondary school? When the teacher retire from primary, secondary, what is the end result of them? I've lost 3 professors as a friends that are professors to public schools wahala. When they are sick, there's no fund to take care of them. Professors, I've lost 3. So where is the enjoyment of being a professor? How can the professor be earning less than 400,000 naira and a senator is earning how much? You know that? So it is because we are not taking education important. It's not a priority in this country. It's not. Okay, look at what happened to, sorry to divert, Pegasi Dangote said, I'm the owner of my team. I'm not interested in you people. If you guys want to be doing your unionism is good, but he's not interested. He said he has given his drivers, their pension is 100%, housing allowance is 100%, health is 100%. Where do you see that in anywhere? Apart from NNPC and Federal Inland Revenue, all those big government sub-agencies, that's where you see. But generally speaking, workers in Nigeria, I'm not canvassing for them, are not really being taken care of because of different policies, especially in education. And until we take care of our teachers, we marked 35 years of my school some time ago last year. As an alumni, we have to package things to go and give to our teachers. We remember all of the old, just let's bless them. We gave things to them. We have to build a lot of things inside the school. Yes, I see that most of the alumni are doing that. What happened to the government that is the owner of the schools? I love PPP, public-private partnership, but it should not make government dormant. It should not make government not to know what to do in what they should do to improve education in Nigeria. There is so much to do in this country. There is so much lacuna. Nigeria need to stand up. The government need to stand up. We have so much resources. We have so much money, but the interest in education is not more. Yesterday, for example, we took letter to one of the IDPs in this country, in Abuja here. And when my guys got there, they said what they saw inside the IDPs camp at a school is a sorry state. A school? Well, no, of course, the IDPs are internally displaced people. Yes. Inside their camp, there is a speeding school. You know, of course, they have to go to school. Mm-hmm. He said what they saw there, it's not something to write home about. And they were there. There's nothing. See, like, people are just living in bondage. In this country where we have somebody stealing 70 billion, somebody is stealing 190 billion. You see some people are stealing even 2 trillion, 1 trillion. Meanwhile, you have people that are suffering in the country. If people are suffering, education is not in good shape. So what is health is not in good shape. Infrastructure is not in good shape. So what is in good shape in this country? But we still stay with the education. We need to do good remuneration for teachers in this country. Let teachers enjoy what they are doing. Some people really want to teach, but when they look at the state of their welfare, they just say, please, I don't want to teach. That's why you see people are leaving education to go to other sector than to go and teach. Okay, that brings me back to this question. So do you think education is a profession, just like a medical doctor, accounting, law? They call those people a strictly profession. Like if you're going up, they tell you what you want to become, how to become a lawyer, how to become a doctor, how to become an accountant. Nobody says how to become a teacher. Yes, it's a profession. Exactly. So it is. This is the way I'm going to say it. Number one, let us establish it. Education to be a teacher is a 100% profession. I've seen real teachers. Some people forever till they will die, they will continue to be a teacher because it is in them. Now, why we are having people not want to call it profession is because of the way it is being graded, it's been overlooked And the way it has suffered, the way many teachers have suffered after all their years in teaching, while looking back, they have nothing to write home about. We have parents that are teachers, if not for all the children that will rise up to come and say, Mommy and Daddy, take this. Take that. We have seen, I have a friend, the father is a principal, the mother is an headmaster. At the end of the day, thank God for their own children that they raise, not to be a teacher, to be other things that now help them. What if they now have children that want to be teacher like them? That means they also have been suffering. So it is a profession, but because of the remuneration, because of the policies that government is introducing to them, is why a lot of people are not going into it. As I said it now, instead of 3.975, we are having 937,000 teachers. We have a lot. That is a huge gap. That's a huge gap. So we need to close that gap by making education interesting for people, more teachers to come in. So that we'll not be having one teacher teach four subjects.
All right. I'm sure you know about the National Teachers Registration Council. So what do you think they can do to strengthen the place of a teacher?
The National Teacher Registration Council is under the Ministry of Education. And there's nothing they can do on their own. Except Ministry of Education come up with a policy to regulate them.
So how can they strengthen that council? Because I know those councils are majorly in charge of the teachers and people who teach.
I have said it. The council is in charge of what they call it. They are in charge of the database of teachers in Nigeria. That is more like recruiting teachers. Now, if council know the net salary or remuneration for teacher is, if they announce today that they have 200,000 for the new entry for teachers, the database of National Council for Teacher for registration will increase. The database will definitely increase because they now see that most people that want to teach will now come in, and they can now they are supposed to be playing oversight role over the teacher. They are not playing it the way it's supposed to be because of the fact that they themselves are not encouraged. You want to see the implementation of your rules and regulations on teachers. You will not even send the teachers again because they themselves need encouragement before them to be able to say, let's do our job well. But that does not still mean that if you are in that association group of people regulating the teaching the job in Nigeria, you should still try as much as possible because they are the one that set up the exam, they are the one that set up different capacity development training, they are the one that make sure that we have the right set of people, and yet we are still having wrong set of people. Go to schools, go and see people that are teaching. Teachers that does not even know the subject is teaching the subject that he does not know. So how do you want to have the best student? How can these people now, this group of people, National Association of, what do you call it?
National Teachers Registration Council.
National Teacher Registration Council. Why can they allow one teacher to be teaching 4 subjects? Why? Is that a good regulation? No. They're supposed to be the one to say one teacher to one subject. They're supposed to be identify what a teacher can do best. There was a time my daughter reported to me 2 years ago, like, Daddy, I don't like our further math teacher. I said, what happened? He said, the man is not teaching the way he's supposed to teach. I said, what happened? And when you look at his balancing the equation on any theory he's setting up, you see that the things are not always balanced. I said, how do you know that they are not? That is because we have a workbook that within us will do it and will balance it. He will not be able to balance it. That is zero. That is deficit. And I had to call the commandant and say, can we please change this for these reasons during the PTA? And they did. Because that kind of person ought to have been tested. Ought to have been tested before he will come into the system to come and cause problem. And we used to have that, even nowadays, I remember when a teacher is on the board, is teaching something, and we, the the few courses will say, no, what you did now is wrong. What you did now is wrong. And they're like, okay. Then you just allow him to just have his way, just go. Then we will say, no, this is the right thing. That is wrong. It does not make the man the worst person. All they need to do is to do capacity development for such a teacher. To know more, to know better, or let him go and go for a better subject that he can do better with.
Okay, so let me chip in then, since we're talking about teachers that are less effective. So we all know that there are quacks teachers, and the danger that they are bringing to our education system. But you know, some people go into teaching just to, for example, if you just finished your education as a young person, the next thing they will tell you is go into teaching, you know, just to start up your life. Not that you are a teacher or you are born to, you know, they see teaching as the easier means to get a job.
It's not even in Nigeria again. It's not even easy to get a teaching job.
Now, or recently, if you are not into the educational sector, which means you didn't study anything related to education,
correct,
you can't
even get it. You can't get it.
That is strictly for the public schools. So private schools are still, you know, they're still collecting any person as long as you're a graduate.
Well, you use the word some, so I'll still go with you.
Yes.
Some.
There's still in fact, I know someone that just got a teaching job and he's not a teacher. He studied what I studied. There's
you see, those are the issues that we're having in this country.
And I'm sure they will just give him a course, a subject related to what he can do. You get my point. Even those youth corpers, when they are sent to schools, they don't send those people that study education
exactly.
to schools. They send
because there are no jobs again. There are no industries in Nigeria.
And from there, as a youth corper, if the school like what you do, they will just retain you. And you are not in the education sector. They will just say that the people that matters to be in the education sector are the principal, headmaster, since they are the one that will head the school.
Okay, so
they'll be that. But what danger does it bring to the education system? All this quack.
The danger is what you are seeing with WAEC result, the JAM result now. Because I will not use the word quack. I will use the word, this thing you just used now, that the unqualified that are getting into teaching when they know they are not qualified to teach. That you studied industrial chemistry does not make you a chemistry teacher. You should, if it is not in education, you have not gone to education to go and study it. To go and, how do you want to think that because you did this industrial chemical, you want to come and do chemistry? No, it's a different ball game entirely, and that's why I said, if we have the right policies from the government, well written and set up, a lot of things will be avoided, and I will not be having the kind of result we are having in Nigeria. And in fact, in Nigeria now, you see a lot of students carrying expo to exam now. Yes. You see one student is writing for 10 persons. So that's why we're having a lot of malpractices everywhere, because they don't know anything again. When you send an NYSC to a secondary school to go and prepare there for WAEC, what do you expect those kind of crop of students to come up with? They can't deliver any WAEC. They can't deliver any JAM, because the NYSC you send to go and teach them does not even know anything, him or herself. So if they want to send NYSC to us, they won't be sending them to primary school, not secondary school. Primary school, go and stay with primary school or GS1. Not more than GS1, because the NYSC president that just came out is still trying to practicalize what he grabbed from school in real sense. How do you want him to go and be teaching? But because there is no work, is why we see a lot of people going to teaching and to want to teach. But if we have more industries in this country and we have more organizations in this country, I'm sure that will not be the case.
All right, let's go for a short break. When we'll be back, we'll talk more about the teachers. Thank you. We've not gone so far. We just get the discussion started And as you all know, this is the World Teachers Day week, and we have been talking about the contributions and challenges and problems that the teachers are facing generally pertaining to their life concerning schools, communities, even straight to the government. And we have an amazing guest here with us that has been giving us different analysis about all things about the teachers. So let's continue, sir. What do you think about incorporating technology into teachings? Because I know we are in the age of, we are in the digital age, and Nigeria is lacking behind in using, making use of this technology into teaching.
Okay, so we want to talk about technology in teaching, and we'll take it from, see, anything that has to do with technology must have a foundation. Mm-hmm. The technology you don't introduce to students from primary, secondary, when you bring it to higher institution, to grab it to be a problem. You get what I'm saying? In some private schools now, you go there, it's electronic board. You understand?
Yes.
And there is one-on-one interface as a student to the board. Teacher understand the board. Student knows what is coming out of the board. It's an interactive board. Such a thing that you have introduced to them from primary and they continue in secondary school and get into higher institution, the same private school, you will see that they will do well in life.
Okay.
But if you do not introduce to them in public school, from primary, secondary, higher institution, what do you expect from that kind of student?
Now I see why some computer science students will tell you they were not even taught anything on the system.
They didn't know anything. You don't blame them. They didn't know anything because they were not introduced to those tech. They were not introduced to it. And then when you see, when they stand apart with their friends, their mates, in the nearest future, you see that there's so much difference. Okay, I was supposed to train NYSC many years ago, and we had these covenant guys, we had these other public professors, universities during orientation camp, and when we are teaching, the private university students from Covenant and this other school in Ekiti State, what's the name of that man? Afe Barola. They were outstanding. And the other guys were just looking. And there's nothing we can do. When I say A, B, C, D, these other guys, they were picking it faster than this other guy. This one, you have to explain and explain and explain for them. Why? It's because the foundation was already wrong. It's why you now, as you sit here, when you start having your children, I'm not sure, I don't know if you have anything now. When you start having your children now, will you take your child? And no. Even if you want to take them to public school, your husband will not allow.
Yes, sure.
Everybody inside the FCR now that are doing FCR, which one of them will carry that? Look at what is going on in the FCR. Where will you, which public school? Will you see this? That. And they come out as a mass communication student. How would they know? Because a lot of them, they have not even seen, during our last summer class, a student said, I have never seen camera before in my life, and she's doing mass communication.
Oh.
What do you do? It's foundational. And I come back to say governments need to prioritize. A friend of mine said to me in Canada, he said, in Canada, most of the private schools in Canada cannot even stand with private school. And most of the private schools in Nigeria cannot even stand apart with public school in Canada.
Oh.
I'm telling you, because it's prioritized. Government prioritize education. Here in Nigeria, they prioritize politics. They prioritize corruption. And that's why the whole place is upside down. So if we really want to get this country right, I like what Bill Gates said 2 years ago. He said, give education and have a very, very, very beautiful future for a country. Well, a country without education is a dead country. Because that's the future of any country.
That's right.
Because when you want to talk about development in any country, infrastructure, be it infrastructure, human development, and what have you, you have to come from education angle. And that is the only tool that you can give to the future, the children that will man the future of any country. It's why you see all those countries, they prioritize education than any other sector. But here, we don't even look at it. It is still in Nigeria that you see that some people are sitting under mango tree doing classes. You go to some university, you see open roof, you park, you can have 150 people in a theater. And some people are at the back making noise. Some people are in front trying to cope with the noise. It is sad. So what do you expect a teacher to do in that kind of situation? He will just say whatever he can say, carry his book, and it's gone.
Okay, let's not say that they start doing incorporating technology. What so many benefits will the student gain from it? Okay,
so if I want to talk about incorporating technology into schools, into education in Nigeria, I think, see, if we really want to get it right, let government roll out drum for private participation to co-own schools with them. If they cannot handle it, I think we are seeing that coming up. That's why you see there is a lot of private PPP, public-private partnership coming up in many schools now. I have an opportunity to be part of one in University of Port Harcourt, and you know, sir, I've seen some other countries from outside the country coming into a school to come and teach different languages. That is PPP that we're talking about. Then when a country is coming to this country in the public school of this country, and they want to bring a new way of teaching, they will come with that technology. And my own advice is the way government is going, it seems not to be interested. Let them open this floor for private participation in public school development. If not, if I want to answer you to say, what can government do to make technology easy for public school?
Yeah, coming to that.
I'm not even saying, I'm not going to tell you that it will happen. Except, yes, I'm not going to tell you it will happen.
So you are saying government will not do that? Until
the right policies, I'm back to it. Until the right policies are in place to say, okay, the person at the end of our affair, that is the Minister for Education, is a techie person. If he is techie, there is no way he will not be dreaming of how to make the public schools in Nigeria techie in nature. Because there's nothing he can do, it's his nature. Let us not politicize who is the Minister of Education in Nigeria. Let us go for technocrats that know what this thing is all about. Because it's his passion that will drive the school, that will drive the education sector in Nigeria. So if you put a politician that does not know anything about education, he will not deliver anything. He will just go there and be playing politics with everything. He's looking for where we will get money from. He's not looking for how the country education sector will develop. And for God's sake, I always say this. I'm not saying people should not eat money, but do something that will give you kudos for.
No. You can say people should not eat money.
You
are not even meant to do that.
What is wrong? They work, person they chop.
No, that is why they have salary, a fixed salary given them.
Leave that
they are
thing.
Working for the public.
Leave that thing. Which public? When you are sick and you don't have money to take care of yourself, is it public that will come and take care of you? See, I'm not saying anybody that is at the end of affair should. I don't encourage stealing. You understand? But let the institution in your hand thrive. We have seen situations where a school is doing very well, and the international community came out to support the growth of the school. We have seen it I saw it in Uniport. I saw it in Uniben, because Uniben now begin to bring people in, private institutions, and international community are now looking at them to develop their school. Okay, will the VC of that school not be happy, will not be comfortable? It will be comfortable, because the more money that is coming into the system, a VC of a school is like a governor of a school. So there's no way development will come to that school that he himself will not be developed.
Yeah.
You get that? So that is what I'm talking about. I'm not saying anybody should, don't steal. But when you do well, you will see that people will support you to maintain that thing that you are doing that is good.
Okay, that's nice. Thank you very much. So I know Nigeria mostly, because I attend Nigerian University, so I know mostly they do theory teaching. What do you think about project-based learning and know the practical aspect? You can listen, but except if you're in medical side, those are the ones that go for practical, and you know they deal with lives. But any other thing, any other studies or other courses, you hardly see their practical. Just like we mentioned, the computer science people that they've never seen a system, and like you mentioned that a mass communication student doesn't even know what camera is.
It's all about.
You get, so what do you think about, you know, apart from the theory, just the teacher coming in to just talk? What about the practical aspect? You know, especially the project-based learning, to experience learning, playing. In how important does it even play?
Okay, so I had a discussion with a professor friend of mine in University of Uyo, and I asked him. I said, "He's a dean of that department, theater art," and he said, "I said, see, guy, okay, we're discussing filmmaking," and I told him, I said, "Okay, look at." He was one of my facilitators during one of my classes then, as a private entity, teaching filmmaking. So he came in and he was very happy about the practical knowledge that he was giving to the students. And I asked him, I said, but in your school, you don't give all these things, you just teach theories. He said, that is what the government wants. It's just not that he's passionate about practical knowledge. It's why he's partnering with people like us to see how, because there are no amenities provided by government for that. You get what I'm saying now? So he came out with his school to partner with us to say, you will be handling the theory, you be handling, let us together handle practical knowledge. That's why I said something about, if we really want to see any development in this country, that's the way to go for any public school. No public school should sit back and be waiting for government to come. Go out there, meet private institutions that are practical based, work together, follow the government curriculum and practicalize the knowledge for these people to see, so that when they go outside there, they will not be feeling like half-baked students. Because without practical knowledge, there is no student that can know anything. You can't. So the bottom line is this: you want to see development in your school as a public school, embrace partnership if government is not bringing it in. You know what I'm saying? Partner with institutions that are doing practical base to help the life and the future of these students. If not, when they come out, they will not know anything. A computer science student that has never done anything on hardware, how is he going to practice it? It is only in medical, like you said, medical and the lawyers, the law, that you see that is what the law school is all about.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what it's all about. And after it, you are given an exam. Either you pass or you fail. When you fail, you go back. You are not calling to bar. But you pass, you call to bar. That means you are ready to practice. The medical student internship, you go and do medical internship in different hospitals, federal hospitals. Yes. I was in Ghana and I saw mathematics. Okay, so the system in Ghana is a specialized system. Every school in Ghana is a specialized school. If it is accounting, it's a school of accounting. Wow. You go in there, you know everything accounting. There's no mission of accounting and any other thing. It's just school for accounting. You get what I'm saying? We have that also. That's why we are talking about. We talk about faculty and department, but it's still not done. Because if it is done, we're supposed to have the influx of different software for students that are accounting students to learn with while in school. Not that until when you come out of school that you now start teaching, you start looking for software. They ask you which software can you use for check and balancing or for agri-based services or product sales or for inventory. Which software? And you are asking software to do what now? So we have software on the system to do inventory. I've never seen that kind of. It's lost. He has never seen it. There's nothing he can drop at it. Maybe he was taught theory, but there's no way he can look for software that is an inventory software for purchase or for sales. He can't do it. So if a school really wants people start looking at them as a public school or have interest in them, they should be able to see how they can upgrade those teaching equipment or science or tech for the benefit of the student. And that is the teacher. If you have a curriculum as a teacher, and you know that your school under you does not have those software required for students to learn, you as a teacher, that's why I said teaching is a calling. Go extra miles to get that software to teach the students for your own good. Because as you are teaching them, you are also learning more.
All right, moving on now, let's talk about the teachers' well-being and support. What do you think about a teacher having a self-development about themselves? Because you hardly see teachers that are going to training. They just say everything comes from their head. As long as they've done the first phase, means having an education for themselves. And the education they have is enough to impact people. So I think there are lesser trainings that they do for teachers, because I think teachers should have their own self-development. You get, so because what they know they can give out
is why
they need to upgrade. So what do you take about how teachers having the self-development?
Is why we have teacher training colleges here and there for train the trainers exercise. I don't know if that is still on. For capacity development for teachers, I don't know if that's still on, but that is the role of that teacher training colleges for the teachers, for them to know better and upgrade themselves. You understand? If that is still on, kudos to the government. Meaning that teachers should not relent on what they know. They should aspire to know more. Yes. You understand? The world is evolving.
Exactly.
When you see a graduate from this country and a graduate from another country that is well organized, you always see the difference. That's why no matter what you have studied here as a medical student, when you go outside the country, you still have to go through some level of training before you can be qualified or asked to come and work outside the country, in the UK especially. So everybody, see, I always say this, I said, development is not a hard thing to do. It's to borrow leave from other countries. How are they doing it? The only problem I know that we know the solution to this country. We know the people at the end of affair know the solution. How do I know? A governor for 8 years was allegedly accused of stealing 1 trillion of fund belonging to a state.
Wow.
Now, for 8 years. And here comes this new governor. In 2 years, he has turned around that state. Are you seeing that? It is, what do you see? If you are not passionate about the people, don't go and become a governor. Now, I've said this, and let me just say it again. If you know that this road they have given to you is not something you can do, don't go into it. The people that know they can't do anything that move into it, they are the people that will steal. This guy has just spent 2 years, and the whole state is developed. He's one of the states with almost 24 hours electricity now. Under 2 years. 2 years plus. That comes to education. And that's why you see private education, because it's privately funded by a person with passion for educational development. You understand? Will be better than anything that is government funded, that is not even allowing any development or that is not interested in development. Because when you come in as a new minister, you are fighting battle of how many years that some people in that educational ministry or education ministry will never want to see happen. Why would they not want to see it happen? Is because they are already used to bureaucracy and sentiment and backdog kind of kind of issues. A new minister wants to come and do reform and do restructuring. It's sad. He's first fighting those cabal before he will be allowed to do the things. They will be the one that will be telling you, we know what you need to do, sir, your excellency, sir, or your honorable, sir. We know what to do for you to be fine. Meaning that you, when you go there, and that's what they see that you are looking for, they will show you. But when they see that Dora Akuyili was a minister of information, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, yes.
Was Dora a mass communication student?
No.
Did Dora not work?
She did.
Excellently well, because when she moved in, our focus is our focus. When this other governor of this state came in, he was not interested in all those nonsense. He faced the work straight and he delivered the work. So any country, any state, or any institution of learning that want to develop will first be determined by who is leading the institution. Except that nothing will happen.
That's very insightful.
So if the head says we have 6-month target to turn around the education sector in this country, and the person have the ear of the president, you will see that in 1 year the education sector will turn around in this country, and teachers will have the best of the best remuneration, because the person at the end of affair is here to come and work. And we have Nigerians that are ready for this work, but they are not being given chance. And I've said it before, Nigerians should stop being afraid of politicians that are always threatening them. We have some elitists that want to really work, some elites that want to work, but because the whole place is tensed, it's full of evil, everybody is running away from it.
That's very deep. How do you see the role of teachers evolving in future? What do you see the future life of a teacher?
The future of teaching in Nigeria?
Yes.
How do I put this one now? The future of teaching in Nigeria will be determined by the two sectors. Let the private school continue, the private sector continue to inspire the public schools. If I made the president of this country today, one of the first things I'm going to do is to bring private collaboration with every public schools in Nigeria and give them a share. Let's step up the game a bit. Let private people come into it and invest into it, and then change the narrative with a policy that is giving them target. You see that the future of education in this country will have a turnaround. If you want to go by, can the minister come in and do it alone by himself? I doubt, because of the rottenness in the educational sector. Before you can get rid of that rot, it will take you years. Except the person is ready to fight and fight and fight and fight before he can. Maybe we were at IDPs. Who is in charge of IDPs? Humanitarian affairs. Do they not know that there are people in the IDPs suffering? And they have budget of billions. So what are they doing with the budget in their hand? If the person at the end of affairs does not have time for the IDPs, what do you think he will do anything about it? Everything still has to do with the government of the day. Because overseas, other countries, it's government and private institutions that come together to make education better. So for us to be better, we need collaboration with private institutions.
Okay. Lastly, just in 1 minute, how can you encourage the teachers, in doing what they do?
The encouragement for teachers is let's have a policy that will celebrate teachers every year across. Now, if you say every year celebration, let's have a remuneration that goes to teachers every year, apart from their salary, from federal, state, local government. Let them be celebrated. We say, it's World Teachers Day. Let's take a day out, that World Teachers Day, from the federal, states, and local to celebrate the teachers. What do you do to them? Just like Christmas Day. Increase, just do something unexpected. Help them. Give grants. Give award that comes with money, that comes with housing. Send them on training abroad. Give teachers some things that will make them happy to want to do more. At that level, we have a better country. They want to do it again and again and again.
All right. Thank you very much for coming. This is where we draw the curtain. If you are a teacher, happy Teachers Day to you. We just want to tell you, we see you, we hear you, we appreciate you, and we truly like what you do, because without you, there is nobody. because the foundation of everyone starts from teaching. And so we just want you to know that you are appreciated. Do what you can do the best you can do. Definitely the reward will come. I'd love to thank our guests. Thank you for the insight and the perspective. Thank you for coming. And to our viewers, thank you for watching the conversation. And until next time, keep watching, keep exploring. I'm Beatrice Okinvale. Goodbye.